Today we're going to tackle the 180 days of 1031 exchange. I want to preface that I am not a tax attorney, not an accountant, not a CPA. I'm not even a 1031 exchange expert to create the escrow account. You should call Carl Pikus for that. He's the one that can answer any questions and any kind of tax legalities. I am the real estate agent that you should choose along with Carl Pikus or someone like him, but Carl Pikus because he's the best. I'm the real estate agent that has the know-all of how to maneuver and correctly document 1031 exchanges. So now, if you haven't really seen segment 1, I would it's 4 or 5 minutes, go back and look at segment 1. It talks about the 45 days of actually it's the identifying 45 days. The 180 days is included in the 45 days is included in the 180. So it's 45 plus 135. Everyone thinks it's 45 and then 180. It's 180. That's 6 months. You get the net proceeds of an investment property. Let's call it $1 million. You say you killed it. You got $1 million of net profit from an investment property. You have 6 months to identify, put things under contract, inspect it, put debt against it. Do everything and anything you have to do to close on a gift. 6 months. Seems like a lot of time in residential, not that much time in commercial. And we're going to kind of talk about the differences today on the 180. Because remember, it's 45 plus 135, so 180 total. So if you don't know really what to do or how important the first 45 days of the 180 is, please just pause this and go to segment 1. If you've already seen that and you understand that and you've commented and you've set up a conversation with me and you're ready to go past that and you're talking about the extra 135 days, this is crucial. In the examples that I gave in the first segment, let's say you have $1 million of profit in your investment property and you're trying not to pay not a dime to the IRS. You would, in the best case scenario, have identified 3 properties at $1 million, because that gives you 3 options to mess up. Because if the first one doesn't work, you got to go to the second one. If the second one doesn't work, you got to go to the third one. I would make it that way, because if you say I'm going to do 500,000 here, 250,000 here, 250,000 there, and you've identified 3 properties that make up $1 million, well, you're kind of like going to have to close on those 3 in order to take advantage of the full amount in the 1031 exchange. I prefer that you have options. One at $1 million, another 2 at $500,000. So if these 2 don't work, you can buy this one, or if this one doesn't work, you can buy these. Or best case scenario is $1 million option A, $1 million option B, $1 million option C. So once you get those properties, and by the way, you should have listed with someone like me that knows what they're doing and can get referred and vouched for by like people like Carl Pikus. We have to make sure that we document it correctly on the listing agreement, on the purchase agreement from the buyer that is buying it from you while I list it, and on the contracts of the purchases of what we're buying. We have to make sure that the 1031 is all documented correctly, or you will have issues with your Carl Pikus or with Carl Pikus, and it's going to be a crap show when it comes to talking to the IRS about making sure you don't pay taxes. So make sure that all this is correct, and you have a real estate agent like myself working with someone like Carl Pikus. So we would want 3 $1 million properties. I would want to put them all under feasibility at the same time and be really super honest with the owners and or the listing agent. Say, hey, you're one of 3 that we're going to figure it out. Feasibility periods tend to be 60 to 90 days. So now we're down from, think about it. If we do 90 days plus 45, that's 135 days. Then after that, if we have a loan against it, which we'll talk about in segment 3, you don't have that much time to close on the property. This is what you have to do. We have to go through financials. We have to verify cap rate. We have to do environmental assessments sometimes. We have to inspect portions of the property. We have to do our full due diligence when it comes to topography if it's land, look through leases if it's triple net properties. We have to inspect it if it's residential. We have to verify taxes, verify if it's in a flood zone, verify so many things. And if we don't, we will run out of time. The last 1031 exchange that I did, there was a problem with heirship, meaning one of the brothers didn't tell the other brothers that he was selling the property, or he thought he didn't have to because he was the executor, and then we had to go back to to court, and then we have to wait, and we barely made the time frame. So that extra 135 days after the 45 days, you have to submit offers, negotiate to the prices you want, inspect it, do environmental assessments, have a full option or feasibility period, do your due diligence on all rental rates, T12s, triple net verifications, common area maintenance, contracts. I mean, if you're buying an office building, elevator contracts. I mean, the list goes on and on. So the 135 days, as much as it seems like a lot, it is not. Most people push the pedal onto the 45 days in the beginning, and then they kind of just like, I got another 135 days, let's chill. We don't have that time. In fact, you want to identify sooner than 45 days and then start to move so that the 135 days allows time. And think about it, if you buy a warehouse, they have to vacate all the stuff. You don't want to be in a rush. And the only way not to be in a rush is to make sure that you work with a team like Carl Pikus and I, or a 1031 exchange expert with a 1031 exchange real estate agent that's very knowledgeable in the area. And you want to identify the properties, get it under contract, negotiate, do your due diligence, and then have time to close. The 135 days, if you miss it, then it all falls apart. What we're going to cover in the third segment is putting debt against it, the proceeds of the net proceeds of an investment property, and what if we don't want to use it all. Those are going to be what we cover in our next segment. In the meantime, there's a link to my Calendly if you want to talk about 1031 exchange. If you have a property that you're considering doing a 1031 exchange, please set up a time with me. There's also other articles and references for you to do your homework. I have 165 agents as of November of 2026 all over the state of Texas, some in Tennessee, some in Utah. So we really do cover the state of Texas. If you're looking to invest and utilize 1031 exchange in the state of Texas, I'm your guy. In the meantime, please reach out, comment, get on my calendar, and I hope to see you in segment 3.